Hello students, welcome to Legacy Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about National Flag Day, which is celebrated on today, that is 22nd of July. The reason why we celebrate this day is because on this particular day, in the Constituent Assembly of India, the national flag was adopted, the tricolor basically was adopted as the national flag of India. So how tricolor was adopted by the Constituent Assembly, what were the debates around it, and also we'll try to look at the brief history of India's flag. So let us try to understand this. So first of all, to give the context of this particular topic, it was in the year 1947, 22nd of July, the Constituent Assembly adopted our national flag to be the tricolor of India. It was a red letter day in our history, and the tricolor's adoption marked a pivotal moment in India's journey toward establishing itself as an independent nation that is free of or free from colonial rule. It also served as a reminder that how earlier on all the government buildings and the public places, it was the UK's or Great Britain's flag, Union Jack, used to be furled, and now that will be replaced by the tricolor, which obviously has raised a concept of a nationhood of India being an independent nation. So let us try to understand what happened on this day and what the Indian flag is meant to symbolize. So first of all, if we try to trace briefly the history of flag of India, it is a belief that the first national flag representing India was unfurled on the August 7th, 1906 in Kolkata at the Parsi Bagan Square. This was also a time that is associated with the Swaraj movement that is going on in the Indian freedom struggle. And the flag used to look something like this. The flag was designed by Sister Nivedita, who was a disciple of Swami Vivekanand, and also the design contribution was made by two other associates, Sachindra Prasad Bose and Hemchandra Kanungo. If you take a look at this flag, it used to have three stripes. Similarly, we have green at the top, yellow in the center, and red on the bottom. If you look closely at the red at the bottom, we have two different symbols. One is of moon and other is of the sun, while on the upper part within the green horizon, you see the lotus that is blooming here. And in the central part, Vande Mataram has been written. So this used to be the first national flag. Later on, if we talk about the current national flag, which is our tricolor with saffron, white, and green color, and having Ashoka's wheel in the central part, it is believed that the design was given by Pingali Venkaiah, who was an Indian freedom fighter, and when he met Gandhiji in year 1921, it was that time when all India Congress Committee meeting was going on in the Bejwada region. It is at this place he proposed the design of the national flag to Gandhiji, and finally, in the year 1931, the Congress Committee meeting that happened in Karachi, the flag was basically accepted as a flag of symbol for Indian struggle against independence and to represent the will of people of India, and this was accepted as the national flag. Now, to show that there is a life in movement and death is stagnation, that is the symbol which is resonating with the Ashoka's wheel that is in the central part of the flag. If we try to decipher the other three colors of the flag, we can see here the saffron color is representing the strength and courage. The middle central part, we have white color that represents peace and truth, while fertility, growth, and auspiciousness of land representing India to be an agriculture economy largely dependent on agriculture. India at that time, especially during the time when the flag was this accepted, India was largely a agrarian economy, and this farmers were the core of the Indian economy. So that is why they also find a place here. So saffron, white, and green, and each of the symbols of the flag have a certain meaning associated with it. So this is about the flag. Now the question comes that who has contributed to the national flag, because Pingali Venkaiah, many times there has been dispute also that it is not Pingali Venkaiah, rather as per the Flag Foundation of India, if you look at the report, they say that the design of the national flag for independent India before Pingali Venkaiah was submitted by Mrs. Suraya Badruddin Tayyabji, and it was finally approved and accepted by the Flag Committee on 17th July 1947. Now, obviously, as per the archives and notes of Constituent Assembly, they have not clearly stated that who was the inspiration or designed this flag. So, this kind of contentions and dispute is something that is going on. Now, let us try to understand that why the date of July 22, 1947 is significant and what has happened on this particular day. So, first of all, it was in this day a resolution was passed and the national flag of India to be a horizontal tricolor of deep saffron, that is kesari color in English, white and dark green, to be in equal proportion. Also, in the center of the white band, there should be wheel in a navy blue to present the charkha. Wheel in navy blue to represent the chakra, we can say Asok chakra. The design of the wheel shall be that of the wheel chakra, which appears on the abacus of the Sarnath lion capital of Asoka, which is also accepted as a national emblem of the government of India. So that is from where the wheel has been taken. Now, in this regard, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, has made two statements while representing or while explaining the design of the flag. He said that the diameter of the wheel shall approximate to the width of the white band and the ratio of the width to length of the flag shall ordinarily be in the ratio of 2:3. And at the end of the record says the motion was adopted and the whole assembly was standing to celebrate this joyous occasion. Now, also we have to understand that while giving his speech on the day when national flag was adopted by the Constituent Assembly, Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru has made few important points. First, he said it was adopted not by a formal resolution. It is not that we are adopting the flag, rather the flag already has been adopted and accepted by the people of India, by the citizen of India. And the reason why they already have accepted it, because the flag is not just a symbol of anything, rather it is much more than this. It is representation of a sacrifice that surrounded the country in the past few decades, and that the Constituent Assembly was in a sense only ratifying that popular adoption. So in one way, what he is trying to convey, it is not us that we're deciding the tricolor to be our national flag, rather we are simply ratifying the decision of the people of India that this should be our national flag. The flag must not be thought of in communal terms, and that when the flag was devised, there was no communal significance attached to it. Also, he said that we thought of a flag which would in its combination and its separate parts would somehow represent the spirit of the nation, the traditions of the nation, that mixed spirit and traditions which has grown up through thousands of years in India, and that is exactly what the flag or national flag is trying to symbolize. Now, one interesting discussion we can do is, as we know that earlier in the first design of the flag, instead of Asoka's wheel, the design was made up of charkha. So, why charkha was why the wheel replaced the charkha? The story goes as such because in the debate when it was going on, the people in the Constituent Assembly, especially Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, wanted that flag should look identical from both the sides. For example, if you're looking from the front, as you can see, the spinning wheel of charkha is on the right and the other part is on the left. But if you go on the other side of the flag, it will reverse. And this is something which they wanted to avoid. And that is why the Asoka Chakra has been included in the central part of the flag, so that the India's national flag represent or seems identical whether you're looking from the forward or you're looking from the behind the flag. So that was the main reason behind this. Also, it is not something that charkha is being replaced by something innocuous. Rather, the wheel that replaced charkha is a symbol of India's ancient culture. It is a symbol of many things that India had stood for through the ages. And the association with Asoka was also important, not just because obviously Jawaharlal Nehru said that not only because Asoka was one of the most magnificent names in India's history, but also in the world history, but also because at this moment of strife, conflict, and intolerance, obviously he is talking about this because India has obviously, on a positive note, attained independence, but also had suffered massively due to the partition of landmass into three different territories: East Pakistan, West Pakistan, India at that time. So that is why he's talking about the strife, conflict, and intolerance was on rise at that point of time. So in this situation, in this environment, our mind should go back toward what India stood for in the ancient days and what it has stood for throughout the ages. And nothing can symbolize it better than the tricolor national flag of India. Now the question comes that when the adoption or the resolution for adoption of tricolor as a flag was passed, were there any objection to it? So objection were raised by two members. One was H.B. Kamath. H.B. Kamath, who was representing the central provinces and Berar, he said that he wanted to have an amendment where he wanted that inside the chakra, in the center of the white man, there should be another symbol, that is swastika. Now swastika is a symbol, ancient Indian symbol that represents Santam Swivam Sundaram, be inscribed there. However, at the same time he said that when he gave this idea, he did not saw the actual design of the flag, and later on he realized that already if you try to inscribe swastika and this symbol inside chakra, it will be very cumbersome and incorporation is very difficult. That is why he initially wanted to have an objection but later withdrew it. Similarly, other member by the name of Dr. P.S. Desmukh, representing the same region of central provinces of Berar, also wanted to retain the tricolor absolutely intact with charkha and retained as it is. He was not in favor of replacing charkha with Ashok chakra, but he would not like to move the amendment as he believed and saw that almost all the members of the Constituent Assembly already have agreed to this new design of flag, and thus he also basically removed his objection. Thus, without any kind of objection, with full majority of the House, full acceptance of the House, the final design of the national flag of India as we see today as our tricolor was adopted. That is all about this particular video. I hope you understood the significance of today's date, 22nd of July, which is celebrated as a National Flag Adoption Day, and a brief history of how our national flag came into being. Thank you very much.